Good morning. Today, Sunday, 24th of March 2024. 40 years to the day since 5 teenagers from different social backgrounds were given a 9-hour detention on Saturday and told to write an essay about themselves and why they were in detention. That film was, of course, The Breakfast Club. Anyway, here we are. Anyway, let me get my cup of tea. I made a cup of tea, but I don't want to leave it to go cold because I've already done that today. So, having a bit of a nightmare today. Devices keep crashing on me. My iPad is an iPad Pro. It's a 10.5 inch iPad Pro from 2019. However, the last 2-3 days, it just constantly restarts. When I'm working, if I've got the laptop open and I'm doing some work, I like to listen to podcasts on the iPad. I'm trying to listen to some podcasts and the whole thing just keeps crashing. And now it's frozen on me. It won't even let me choose a podcast. And I dare say in a couple of minutes, the device is going to restart again. So that's on its way out. Conveniently, the new iPad Pro has just been announced by Apple, or it's been launched now. So yeah, that's going to have to get updated, but just in time for the new iPad. This is a 2020 MacBook Pro. It's the Intel i7, and the fan has only just calmed down. The fan was screaming for about 2 hours. I did a video we did a hotel review in Dundee back in the summer last year. We stayed there in July, and I wanted to do a video on travelling down to the hotel, checking in, ordering room service, using the facilities and leaving. I've done that video, but when I exported it, I hadn't marked the correct out position, so it kind of abruptly ended, so I had to go and redo that. And again, as soon as I opened Premiere, the fan just went crazy. And then this is an HP ProBook. I used that for when I'm doing the consultancy work for clients in the marine construction industry. So just now, I've got some risk assessments I need to update, so I do that on the laptop rather than MacBook, but yeah, it's just choice. So, where are we with these brands, with these businesses? With Macintosh Gin, there's not much news to tell you with that one. We are in the process of changing our unit. We currently are in a large industrial unit on the east side of Dundee. However, the lease is up in September. We're not going to renew it because we have constant issues. We have 2 allocated parking spaces, and every time we go to the unit, our allocated parking spaces are being used, and then now people are then parking across, so that they're parking in the allocated parking bays and then parking across the kind of entrance to the unit. So we struggle to get in and out of the unit, so we're going to give that up in September. So instead, we're taking on a newer, smaller unit in Dundee, maybe 10 minutes from where we live, so it's ideal. I do have plans to build a little bar where I can do some content creation from. I'm going to use that as the basis for doing Cocktail Corner. That will be a standalone YouTube channel. If you're into cocktails, then have a look. So Macintosh Gin, a bit quiet just now. Bowie and Mac. Well, again, still quiet, because I'm still trying to work out designs that I'm sending the designer. And when this thing starts working, I might be able to open Procreate, because again, I tried to open Procreate this morning, it's doing, the iPad's crashing, it's doing nothing. I do need to send designs to the designer. We've got an idea, we're just having discussions between ourselves in the team as to what the first design is going to be, and if it's going to be a t-shirt or a hoodie. I like wearing black t-shirts. I like black t-shirts with a small chest logo and a large print on the back. I don't really wear hoodies, but Debs, the Bowie of Bowie and Mac, she does like wearing hoodies, wears a different hoodie every day, but doesn't like big prints in the back. So we're in debates. The hoodie that we're going to make will probably be a plain hoodie. It might have a small logo on the chest, it will have the hem tag, and it will be pretty much plain. Whereas the t-shirt that we launch will have a chest print and will have some kind of print on the back. Single colour, either white or yellow, orange, gold, that kind of thing. We're undecided. So we're still there with that. However, I'm so busy just now with the consultant side of my day job, if you like. I'm still here in the Netherlands. I still have 3 more weeks before I come home, and it's just keeping me so busy. I'm working 16, 17, 18-hour days, trying to put out risk assessment and update procedures. It's keeping me busy. But today, Sunday, I plan to take it a little bit easier than what I would do if I'm in the office during the week. However, since I've started doing YouTube videos and I'm then editing videos, I've become aware of how much weight that I've put on over the last 10 years. I never used to have this big a belly, but my gut is absolutely huge. I'm sitting at probably close to 90 kilos. I was 92 kilos when I weighed myself last, which is way more than I should be. My weight should sit around 75 to 80 kilos, is a good weight for me. But a lot of the jobs that I do, it's sat behind these things. It's very sedentary, and I've put on a lot of weight. But I've also noticed that my fitness has suffered as well. So since I've noticed that I put on a bit of weight, I decided I was going to get back in the gym and do a bit of training and try and lose a bit of weight. But it's made me realise how much of my fitness I've actually lost as well. The office I'm working from here in the Netherlands, well, I'm working from 3 offices. I'm working from 2 places in the Netherlands and an office in Antwerp in Belgium. And when I visited the office in Belgium, I decided to take the stairs. The office is on the 6th floor. By the time I walked up to the 6th floor, I was so out of breath, I was blowing up my arse. So I realised that my fitness is really taking a hit. But I'm pouring all my time into running these businesses, and I'm stuck behind computers that it's no good. And yeah, I've put on a significant amount of weight, so I need to make an effort to try and kind of lose a bit of weight and get a bit of fitness back. But actually, I think going to the gym a couple of times a week will help me clear my head. So the plan is I'm going to start doing some more fitness and try and go from fat to fit. So on that note, there's a gym here in the hotel. I went to the gym on Thursday after work. I only did a workout on the cross trainer. I did a bit of a warm up. I did a 25-minute hard session and then a bit of a cool down. Wow, by the end of that session, the sweat was just absolutely pouring off me and my lungs were on fire. I then walked back up to my room, a couple of flights up the stairs, and my legs were like jelly and I just thought I was going to die. So it's something that now needs to be addressed. I need to get on top of my health and fitness. Everyone talks about, or has talked about for years, about this kind of hustle culture and how you've got to work 18 hours a day and you've got to get up at 3 in the morning and work for 3 hours before the day starts for other people, and you've got to grind in the evening. You know, I don't really align with that. I do this kind of thing and I'm working 16, 17, 18 hour days as it is, and it's not sustainable. It's not something you can do for long term. So what's pleasing me is I'm starting to see more and more business owners talking about health and fitness and talking about mental health and moving away from that hustle culture, and I like that. So I'm hoping to do a bit of a fitness journey myself, improve my health, improve my fitness, and then be in a better position to actually run these companies in the long term. So that's my plan. So on that one, I'm going to bought myself a swim kit, if you like. Now the hotel here has a pool. It's not a massive pool. There's 2 lanes to it, and I think it's like 15 meters, but it's enough that I can put some lengths in. So I got a swim bag, and then I've got myself some new swimming shorts. And then the bag itself, it's a decent little bag. It's got a zip on the front. It's quite wide, so I can put, when my phone, my keys and such like in there. It's got a waterproof section at the bottom. Nice little vent. It's got separated sections inside, so I can put my white shorts in there, and it's big enough that I can put my towel and my swim kit in for going down. And then I bought myself some swimming goggles. These are the Biofuse 2 by Speedo. I used to swim years ago, a long time ago. I used to do a lot of swimming. I was actually a lifeguard, believe it or not. I was a lifeguard and a swimming teacher in a previous life. So I did a lot of swimming. And I enjoy swimming. It's good for fitness, and it's a nice thing to do. So anyway, I bought myself a pair of Speedo swimming goggles, the Biofuse Model 2. And these fit so well, the suction straight onto the face. Take these off. These are a good fit. They've suctioned onto the face quite well. So yeah, they're a nice goggle. They fit the face well. They kind of suction straight onto the eye socket, so I already feel that they're going to be good in the pool. I'll get a good seal and it'll prevent water getting in the eyes, because there's nothing worse when you're trying to swim. You get water in the eyes, can't see, the chlorine's burning your eyes. So a good pair of goggles, it helps you swim, well, it helps me swim better. So yeah, I went to the gym this week. Tomorrow I'll be in the pool, and I'll go to the pool a couple of times a week before work. I really do need to make an effort and improve my health and fitness. And then the other pressing matter on my mind is these devices. I am going to have to replace my iPad and MacBook this year or soon, and it's quite, my life runs on these. I run my businesses, I run the brands with these devices, and I use them every single day. I use the MacBook for editing all my videos, and then I also do a lot of content creation for the brands that I'm running. So I use the MacBook for Photoshop, because I can't live without it. And of course, all my emails are there. And then the iPad, whilst I don't need the iPad, it's very handy to have. I do use Procreate a lot for kind of drawing designs and sketches, but also just kind of marking things up, listening to podcasts. So I do use it. It is a tool. This camera is also giving me issues. It's just one of these weekends. This camera is also giving me issues. I did some filming yesterday. I did a video on the backpack that I carry. I carry a backpack by the North Face. It's called the Surge. It's a nice model. I've had it for 10 years, but I wanted to do a video on why I feel it's a good bag to carry your everyday carry items in. I did the video. I recorded it on this desk here, and then I'm I'm packing the bag as I go, and then I finished filming. I imported the footage onto one of my hard drives. I then went to look at the footage, and a lot of the footage, the focus is gone. I'm using autofocus on this, but I've got it to autofocus single, so as soon as it's focused, it should stay there, and I've got it set to people mode. But, and I hope it's not doing it now, it would focus on me here. I would then move over to here, and it's out of focus, and I'm really hoping it's not done it again here. Yeah, so that was a bit of a disappointment. So, and that camera is the Nikon Z, or Z if you're living stateside. This is the Z30. I bought this because it was marketed as, you know, the ideal camera for content creators. I'm from a Nikon background, Nikon if you live stateside. I'm from a Nikon background. I've been heavily invested in Nikon cameras for years. My film camera is a Nikon, it's Nikon FM2. My first digital camera was a Nikon D1. I then had the D1X, and whilst they weren't particularly great cameras, they were for the time, I then had the D3 and then the D3S, which was a phenomenal camera. I then, in my camera bag for a long time, I had two D3Ss. I was using these when I was shooting. I used to shoot a lot of concerts, and these were amazing. I would have two cameras when I was shooting gigs, one with a longer lens, one with a shorter lens. The D3S by Nikon was just a phenomenal camera. So I ran two of those. I also had the D200, I then had the D300, and these were the cameras. I also used to shoot weddings, and these were the cameras that I would use when I was shooting weddings. But I sold all my gear to transition into doing health and safety and working offshore. I sold all my gear to pay for the courses, and it's only now that I'm starting to buy equipment back. So I've got the Nikon, the D810, and it's a fantastic camera, and I was using that for a lot of filming, but I bought the Z30 just because it was meant to be this all singing, all dancing, perfect camera for doing these kind of vlogs. However, I have noticed an issue with the focusing on the camera. It's got a flip out screen that's there, so I can look at the screen and see what I'm recording when I talk to myself. But when I want to change the ISO, it won't let me change it if the screen's facing me. So I've then got to flip the screen back round. The ISO button's on the top. I've got to flip the screen back round to press and hold the ISO button to change it. But then it means taking the camera off the tripod or lifting the tripod up and turning around to actually see the ISO. So it's a bit of I hope Nikon update that and let us change the ISO while the screen there is facing forward, because it's simple. I press the button there and the thumb dials, I could look at the screen and change it, but it doesn't let you do that. And then the issue with the focusing. So I am debating whether this is going to be a long-term camera that I'm going to use, or if I'm going to upgrade to one of the other Nikon models, the Z6, the Z7, or maybe even the Z9. So I need to have a look at those, maybe hire the models for the weekend and do some filming and see what I think. However, all the content creators that I follow on YouTube, they're all invested in the Sony ecosystem. So I don't know, do I jump to Sony? Help me out, what do you guys think? Nikon, are there any reps from Nikon watching this? What do you think? Should I stick with the Nikon ecosystem because I have lenses already? Or Sony, should I come to the dark side? I'm torn. Anyway, I wanted to just record a piece today, talk about issues with devices, and talk about health and fitness. It's something that I've not really spoken about for a long time. I need to get on top of it. So, and by talking to you guys and by posting this on YouTube, it will help keep me accountable. I'm hoping in a year's time, someone watches this video and then asks me the question, have you lost that belly? And I'm hoping that I'll be in a position to say, yes I have. Look at the new svelte me. But not only that, it's not about losing the belly, it's about fitness and health. I need to improve my health. I want to be here for the long term. I want to see my kids grow old. I want to see my grandkids be born and grow. And I want to see these brands flourish and do well, and I want to be there to kind of take them to that next level. So yeah, today starts my journey from fat to fit, and I hope you guys come along with me. Cheers.